let's do a little makeup because it's been a minute. So I've done my skincare, and within my skincare, the last thing I put on is the Monat Invisible Wear Sunveil Mineral Sunscreen, and it is tinted ever so slightly. And so that preps my skin. It kind of smooths out things just a little bit. It has really good ingredients, non-toxic. You know me, if I'm using it, it's not going to be bad for you. I gotta draw on some brows though, because oh, we don't have any. So this is the these are the cream pencils by Saint they came out with. This is the color Chai. It's my favorite. I just kind of draw a shape. Remember, they're sisters, not twins. Sometimes they're cousins, sometimes they're friends. Don't stress yourself out. And then we'll come back and finish this. So I've been doing my makeup a little bit different lately. The older I get, the less I wear. And if you'll change the way you think, instead of thinking cover up, cover up, cover up, if you'll think add color and take away color, because I'm going to do something today that's going to look real sketchy, wonky, whatever you want to call it. We're going to add some color underneath the eye. I cannot take credit for this. My friend Jenny Watson showed it to me, and it's been a game changer. So guess what I'm going to put under my eye? Black Cherry Bam-A-Lam. Okay. Oh, Black Cherry. All right, so I've got dark here, and then I've got this little crevice here. So sometimes as we age, we don't need to put anything really bright under the eye because it enhances texture. So if you add color, hear me out, if you add some color to the areas where there is no color, it's a game changer. All right, if you've ever heard the saying, trust the process, now is when you really want to implement that. So I'm taking this little brush here and I'm going to tap, because I've got dark color all through here, I'm going to tap a little bit of this. And then once I get it on, I'm going to kind of like blend it out, but just, this is not the only place we're going to add color. So you may be thinking, Misty, why are you adding something dark under your eye? Little girl, you're not getting any more treats. No, you've had enough. But all we're needing to do is take away the intensity of the contrast. And sometimes instead of trying to brighten a darkened area, it works better if we add color to where the contrast of the area that's light and the contrast of the area that's dark is not as noticeable. So I know, just hang tight, keep hanging with me. All right, so just keep hanging. In my little dark crevice, I said no more. You know Mama's filming, and you think just because Mama's on camera that you can ask, and you can ask all you want to, but you cannot have no more. You've had enough. Okay? All right, so I know Georgia, no ma'am. Hold on. Okay, yes, I did. I gave her another treat. I talk a big talk with her, but she knows what's up. All right, so I'm adding color. Just hang out with me for just a second. And also, Black Cherry is a very sheer, it's one of our lip and cheek colors. That's what I love about this makeup, is it's beyond versatile. Like, it can be used for any and everything. And it's sheer, and it's one of our glosses. So guess what that adds? It adds that glow under the eye. I'm just going to put a little bit right here just so my texture is the same. And then I'm going to go in with a corrector. I can actually use a highlight or one of our cream correctors. All right, so I've added color. It looks a little pink, but just trust the process. All right, so now, wrong palette. You know what? I'm going to use a highlight color. All right, so this is where you can go in if you have either your cream correctors that we have, formerly known as Demi. I'm going to use the highlight shade Palace. This is a really kind of a pinky peach color. So it's got some orange and some red in it. So where I do have my dark, I'm just going to tap. Remember, if you apply your makeup and it enhances your texture, that means your color is too light. I see people all the time on social media asking, what makeup can I use that doesn't, you know, increase my texture? Number one, you need cream makeup because it moves with the skin, and it's made, I won't say made for mature skin, but it's the best makeup out there for mature skin. Number two, if you see a lot of texture whenever you're adding your foundation and everything is enhanced, go darker. Like, don't be afraid of color, because I add more color than I take away. All right, so I'm just adding a little bit of bright. Okay, so I did the other eye and just was in here just to talking, never hit record. All right, so you can see we've added color, so the contrast between the two is not so much. So now I'm gonna add color to my face. I'm gonna go in with bronzer and contour, because this is the majority of what I wear, is adding color to my face. Do not be afraid to add color. Actually, when you add color, it makes you look more alive. It makes you have more dimension instead of just that flat one color base. Because that's what my generation did. We slathered base on because we had to be one color from here to here, like solid. And we don't do that now that we are maturing. I have a hair in my eye. All right, so I'm adding color, and you can see as I add more color to my face, it's gonna connect with the eye. And everything's gonna start coming together. All right, ladies, do not forget this. Like, do not, your makeup is never supposed to match your neck. Your makeup is supposed to be for your face. And then we match, or we bring down bronzer or a foundation shade. Because if you're matching your makeup to this right here, oh, you're gonna look like a ghost. You're gonna look like a pasty ghost. So always bring a little bronzer down. Other than, don't use a heavy black eyeliner over the age of 35. Tying your makeup into your neck and chest is probably the second best makeup tip I will ever give. All right, so just brought that down. So you can see I'm adding color to the face. We're not done yet. We're gonna contour just ever so slightly. So you find that cheekbone, don't try to draw a line. Don't try to hold something here and come from this part of your ear. Find your bone. Find your bone, because everybody's placement is different. And you go right where that bone, on the edge of that bone, and just apply a little contour. And when it comes to contour on the cheekbone, find the bone. If you're ever unsure if you're a little low, always go high, higher, not too high. I like to add shape to my nose or add color to my nose. There's multiple ways that you can contour your nose. Is it a necessity? No. Is it a game changer? Yes. If you're unsure on how to contour your nose, ask the old Google for an image that shows you different charts. They're out there that has different contours for different nose shapes. All right, so we're still adding color, okay? We've added more color. Now we're gonna blend this in. The reason I like to add that bronzer first is I think it helps to blend anytime you add color, and then you can blend color. So trust the process. We are trusting the process. Remember, you can always add more if you over blend. All right, let me get this brush for my neck. All right, now for my actual foundation. So this is the end of the Pilot brush, which is a 4-brush-in-1. I'm going to ever so lightly tap just the tiniest bit, and I'm gonna go where I don't have anything. And I'm basically using this color to marry the other two colors, like where my under eye was and my dark color that I added, just to kind of blend it together. Like, that's it. Like, I'm adding, I wear such little foundation now, and it's mainly just to give everything a smooth blend together. Sorry, I just realized I was slobbering out the corners of my mouth. And it's more of like a blending thing. If you ever want to sharpen up your cheekbones, you can do a little bit lighter and keep that line a little more contrast between your dark and your light. Same thing over here. Okay, and then I just brought, and then I always do this up into where I added color. Go back. Give everything a light blend. I'm gonna take this small end, I'm gonna dip into that same Palace color that I went under my eye with, and I'm gonna come down the center of my nose. We're gonna soften that. And that's it. That is all the foundation that I do. So you can see that adding color did not darken my under eye. It just kind of blended it and evened everything out. So from here, I'm gonna add blush. I'm gonna do a little bit of eye makeup. I don't do a lot. Finish my brows, and I'm gonna come back and show you the final look of what adding and taking away color looks like on your makeup versus covering everything. Okay, finished product. I doctored up the brows a little bit more with my liquid brow pen that I get on Amazon, just to make them look a little bit more realistic. Added blush, went very simple with the eye makeup. I do use the Monat liquid eyeshadows. They're talc-free, 100% safe. As that bright shimmer on the inner corner. I will tell you a little tip. If you have a deep set eye and you want to bring like forward like life to the eye, add a little bit of brightness on that inner corner and then just blend it across. Eyeliner, big tip right here. Nothing ages us more than a heavy black eyeliner. I do a cream eyeliner on the bottom. So don't do that heavy bold black on the bottom. We left that in the 90s and it needs to stay there. This will make you look more youthful and your eyes like pop more. And then I do a line that's like in my lash line, like kind of underneath. So not really like in that waterline, but I dirty up the lash line, and you can go just on top in the lash line. The more thick your eyeliner is on the top lid, the more it's going to close the eye, especially as you're maturing. And let's see what else. I did a little gloss, a little bit of illuminator to give that glow. Remember, skin is in. Not showing everything that your mama gave you, but like skin. Like let your makeup look like enhanced skin. Mascara, I use the Monat IR Clinical as my first coat because, you know, this has the hair growth serum that's in what we put on our scalp, also for the lashes. And I love this alone. It does not flake. It is a wonderful mascara, but I use the Tartelette XL, which is a tubing, to give me some added length. And I think that's it. Oh, I do set with a tiny bit of powder just because cream makeup needs to be set. So Monat has a powdered bronzer and it's talc free. So on the forehead, I will just lightly tap this up there, maybe a little on the cheeks as well. And then Saint has the feather blotting dust, which does not give you that mattified look. The more glow you have to your skin, the more youthful it is. I know if you're of my generation, you know, like I said, we wanted to be the same color from here to here, cover everything, and then powder it so much that we were matte. That was cool at one point in time. Or we thought it was, but the older we get, we want to have glow. You want that light to reflect and bounce. So it's been a while since I've done makeup. I'm going to post these in my highlights and make a highlight bubble of makeup just so you'll have something to reflect back to. And always know if you're looking for a new makeup routine or you need help with makeup, just reach out to me and I will be more than happy to help you.